Hi, folks. This is Chad with Apsona. Recently, many people have been asking about inline editing of data and what can be done in Apsona. They may be thinking, hey, I want to create a filtered list of records, maybe a report. I want to have certain fields on there, but I want to be able to very quickly edit many records at once and then save those changes to the system. And Apsona has a great solution for that. It's called Tabular View. When you typically load Apsona, you're going to see the view that I have on screen now. This is our console view. You can get a list of records, you can filter it up here, and whatever records you click on is going to show you all of the fields that you've added to your layout here, and you can edit them, you can view related lists. This is a great view. But sometimes people want a more concentrated spreadsheet-like view where they can edit many records at once and save those changes in one fell swoop. And that's where Tabular View comes into play. You can access Tabular View from any object that you have access to in Apsona just by hovering over the object and choosing it. So we're going to stay with accounts and we're going to click Tabular View. Now what I see is a list of records that's more concentrated. I can filter this list. So let's go ahead and let's pull up all of our California businesses. Here's the filter that I've previously saved. You can save filters and recall them later in Apsona. And it's going to bring up, looks like 72 records here. But I want to see them a little bit better. I'm going to get rid of this filter. All right, now I've got a nice big spreadsheet-like view of my data. So now that we're in here, we can do some on-the-fly edits. So I can come into a particular record, change one value, come to a different record, change a different value. I can continue cruising through my data. I can update many fields. We have pick lists here. So all the different field types are available. And then once you're happy with your edits, you just hit save and it's going to save all those records at once. You can do further searching by clicking into these fields and choosing one of our 18 filters and narrowing this down further. But you can also, of course, make solid filters that you can repeatedly access up here in our saved filters menu. All right, so I've made some changes. What if I want to add a record? We have that too, add row. So I'm in my California businesses list, so I need to make sure I add a record that fits my filter. I'm just going to call this Chad test. We're going to go ahead and choose organization as our record type. And this is a list of California businesses. I got to save the right city or state. And I think once I save this, it should show up. So once we save, let's take a quick look and see if our record is here. And there it is. Cool. So let's get rid of that. Back to our main list. Awesome. So we've updated several records. We've added new records. What if I want to update a bunch of records at once? I want to do a mass update. Let's say I find a bunch of accounts that are in the wrong state. They all need to be in Nevada. So this one needs to be there. This one, this one. Let's keep scrolling. This one. These four need to be changed to Nevada. Another amazing set of tools in Apsona that some folks are not familiar with is just right here in this tools menu. When you click this down, you have a plethora of options of ways to update and navigate through your data. We're going to click on Update Checked. That's going to have these four records be in its memory, and we're going to update the state. Billing state, change that to NV. Update, and what's going to happen is they're going to drop off our list because they don't satisfy our California business anymore. As an archive, I could download this as a CSV, and once it downloads, I can pull it up on screen. It shows what record IDs I manipulated, were there any errors, what was the old value, what was the new value, and we can save that on our desktop. So now my list has shrunk because I've gotten rid of 4 of my accounts that dropped off my California filter. So I can update fields, I can add new records, I can mass update. Now let's talk about the flexibility that Apsona provides for the fields themselves. Let's say I don't like the order of these fields. I want to kind of move these around just so that it works better for my brain. All you got to do is click and drag. You can move fields all around in the screen. This is a user-specific update. So if a different user comes to an account tabular view and they're in this default field set, they are not going to see the changes that you made because those are specific to your user. What if I don't have the right fields on this view? I want to, on the fly, add different fields to review and potentially edit. I can come here to set columns. I can remove fields by hovering over them. Let's say I don't really need to worry about the zip code. Let's get rid of that. but let's say I do want to add the phone. So we'll click on that, drag it over, and put it here in the list. I can drag it up and down as I please here, and then I can hit apply. Once again, this is only specific to your user, so I can add fields, remove fields on the fly all day long, and it's not going to affect other people's experience. Here's account phone now so that I can review the data here. I can order by fields by simply clicking on the header, and that's going to change the order just as it would in a typical report. So just really easy, quick, flexible ways to manipulate your data. Now let's say, okay, I love all this, but I want to actually create some kind of solid sets of filters and fields that other people can access. I want to create something that does reflect on other users' experience. And that's where field sets come in. Here we're on the default field set. This is just kind of the vanilla basic starting point that is specific to your user. But I have some saved field sets. So let's say I have a team that does very specific work and they need to have very specific fields that they can just quickly go to and do their work. So let's come to this household account cleanup. This is going to show very specific fields that are specific to this purpose. And in this place, I can, of course, come and do all the same things. I can update, I can manipulate, I can add. But this is a saved field set that everybody has access to. Okay, let's talk about the next thing here. So this is another great piece that I haven't even touched on yet. Let's go back to our default view. So I have all these records and that's great, but hey, what if I want to kind of poke into them and see their related records, the child records that are under them? All you got to do is click on this drop down, and now we see a list of all of the related records that we have put into our view. Of course, there could be more, but this is what we've loaded in. And it shows all the related records. And guess what? I have the same power that I do on the parent record. So now I'm in the list of opportunities for this one account, but I can update the stage here. I can change names of things. I can manipulate the data just like I can elsewhere. And and I can save the records that I've edited. And as I just accidentally clicked on, I can add records. I can set columns, all of that power. Now, I don't have the mass update feature here. I can't check on these boxes and do a mass update. But if I wanted to mass update opportunities, all I got to do is go to Opportunity Tabular View, and then I can have a master list of opportunities. I could filter them appropriately and mass update them. So just tons of power. And check it out. I'm in Opportunities related list. I can go even further. Let's see. Okay, I want to see what the products are of this particular opportunity. So I'm 2 levels deep now. Now I'm looking at the products below, and I can keep going as long as there's a child object under it. I can continue going, and you have access to all the same power, editing fields, editing, adding records. So just tons of flexibility of what you can do with your data, where you can navigate, all at the tip of your fingertips here. Okay, I think that I've hit all the main topics I wanted to talk about with Tabular View. So you're welcome to head out, but I am going to stick around and I'm going to go a little bit deeper. I encourage you to stay too, just to see some of the other pretty cool things you could do in this realm of the world of our tool. So I think what I'm going to talk about next is embedding. So if you say, this is great, I love all these tabular views, I want to put this power onto my record pages in Salesforce, there are ways to do that. So here I am in accounts, I'm in a tabular view, but let's say that I actually want to, let's say that I want to put this opportunity tabular view into all of my accounts, so that as I'm in an account, I can very quickly review all of its opportunities and update them and add records and all of that. So I'm not going to go through all of the steps, but just to get you started, what you would do as an admin in Apsona is come to our Visual Force page and buttons window here, and you could say, I want to create a tabular view of opportunities as a related list on account. There's a few, this basically generates code, and then you create a Visualforce page. I have some articles that I can link in the description to show you how to do that. But if we come to a record page, here's a preview. So I've created an opportunities related list based on a tabular view. And check it out, I have all of the power that I did in Apsona. I've got field sets, I've got filters, I can update the data live, I can save it, I can add new. So as you think about this as compared to a standard related list, here's our standard opportunities related list. I can see up to 6 here. I can click view all to go see a full list. And then if I wanted to edit these, I'd have to go to the records directly. With Apsona, you have as many records as exist. You can edit them live. You can even go deeper into their children objects here. Here's products. So all of that tabular view power is now on every record page that you want. But wait, there's more. Let's say, okay, Chad, that's great. But I want to have my users come in here and do some manipulation on opportunities, but I'm really nervous. What if they delete all of them by clicking here and coming to tools and going to delete all? Or maybe there's some other, maybe I want to make sure that they're really seeing the opportunities that need editing. So if the amount is blank, I want to highlight them. Well, enter Apsona Grids. We have an add-on product that you can purchase called Apsona Grids that takes tabular views and gives them a few bells and whistles and also some safety guardrails. So I'm going to just quickly preview that here in the next tab. This is an Apsona Grid that is very similar in terms of functionality to a tabular view. You have your inline editing, you have the ability to add rows, you can go deeper into the opportunities themselves, but it's more customizable. So you can see this opportunity is 0 and it's highlighted yellow. So you have some conditional formatting options to add so that your users are really effective in their work and they can move even faster. We also have some guardrails. So if I open up tools here, you can see delete all is not there. And that's because I removed that permission so that my users get just the right level of power, but not too much. And just a really quick view behind the curtain here, Apsona Grid Admin is a tab that you get if you purchase the Apsona Grid product. And what we're looking at here is the various Apsona grids. So I believe this is the one that I was just previewing. I can click edit here. And what you can do here is you can create custom views of the fields. So this is going to be whatever fields you want to show for the object, the opportunity here in this case. You can choose subgrids, so you can choose the children records of the parent, and you can choose multiples of them, and they could be custom, so they're not going to be tied to your tabular view. These are unique standalone views. You can have default filters that will automatically be applied once the user comes into the grid. Again, one of those safety guardrails, you may only want them to see certain types of opportunities in this case, so you can add a default filter. You can add additional optional filters that the user can choose, but we particularly hold back on giving the user the power to create filters so that we are offering that guardrail feature. So you can set them up as an admin and let them add additional filters that you've prescribed. Here's our formatting rules, and you can see this one says if it's greater than 500,000, mark it orange. If the amount is 0, mark it yellow. And then here's where you control what kind of mass edit features they can access. So again, just great product. I encourage folks to get it if they have users that need to interact with their data, but they need a little bit of safety behind it. Okay, I think that's it for Tabular View. I hope that you learned something here and that you go play with Tabular View. It's just it's really my preferred way of interacting with data in Apsona. Folks, thanks for watching. I want to finish this off with a couple announcements here. I want to invite you to sign up for our newsletter where we give people monthly updates of what's going on with Apsona and what upcoming events there are. So please check that out. I also want to mention that we have a great contact us form, which is kind of our all-purpose request form for technical support, billing and licensing questions, sales questions. It's a one-stop shop. Just to kind of highlight that, if you come to apsona.com here, you click on Contact Us, there's going to be a form that loads here where you can choose the theme of your question, And furthermore, I've added some fun little Easter eggs here. So I have an FAQ list that you can pop out, and it tells you the most common support questions and what the answers are. And then as you choose the specific product that you're asking about, let's say reporting as an example, I pull up specific resources to that tool with some helpful videos. Really encourage you to check out that forum. I think it's super helpful. The other thing I want to say here is we have lots of resources. We have a great YouTube page. I'll show that in a second with some great playlists. We are on LinkedIn, which is where we manage our events. So you can come here, follow us, and see the latest events coming up. Every week, yours truly, Chad Harris, I host office hours twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Here's the times. And this is the bit.ly link that you can use to go to it. You don't need to sign up. And of course, our newsletter mention. So lastly, I'll just finish off with a couple of references here. We have great support documentation under this help and support tab. You can search for keywords here. Currently, all of our articles are categorized by kind of functionality to help keep things organized. We also have live demos that we do every month for all of our products. We kind of bucket them in 3 themes. So if you scroll down, there's 3 boxes that explain the times, the content, and you can click through here to register via a Zoom link. I think that's it. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.